All right, so let's talk about the updated Randy Orton Seth Rollins storyline. When we last did the podcast, it was the night before. It was on the 8th, which was a Sunday before Raw, and at the time, Randy had screwed over Roman Reigns and helped Seth beat him 1, 2, 3 in the ring. The following night, which was after our podcast when we posted it, the show kicked off with Randy essentially dissing each member of the Authority.
That was so much fun,
And
man.
it was done so well. He
It's
was
so
actually making
true
a lot.
though. Even like now, anytime I look at the Big Show, like even last night or on SmackDown, it was he's just whining and crying
Yeah.
about it. This is awesome.
And then so he said all this stuff to get them heated, and then he breaks out laughing. Seth was phenomenal too. He's like, "Hey guys, see, he's just joking. Like,
yeah,
you know,
very
take
loud,
a joke."
enthusiastic, and like slapping everyone's
Yeah.
chest while everyone else in
Yeah.
the room is all pissed off about
Um,
it. It was awesome.
And then Randy went into what he would do if he were to get his hands on Seth. So we knew we only had 3 Raws left
Yeah.
for them to turn this around. It still, I don't know. I guess for me, it still felt like it was kind of quick. I don't know, for some still.
Yeah, no, I thought the exact same thing as well because it's I honestly wish they even gave it a week where they had that Reigns versus both the moment. You know what I mean? Because
Yes,
it was
yes.
because the way that segment went, it was like it's happening tonight,
Yeah.
and I was
It was
like,
so
I'm
obvious.
staying
Yeah.
up, I'm watching this,
Yeah.
I'm watching this happen tonight.
Well, so let's skip to the end because in the podcast last time we really talked about how much we were anticipating Randy's return, and given the way that they booked him for those 2 Raws after Fastlane and him fooling the Authority, and then rebuilding the storyline, which I was very heated about. I don't know what I would have been happy with. I didn't like I didn't like when he finally got his hands on Seth. It wasn't entertaining. The way the commentators were talking, you almost repeating Seth.
Yeah,
It was almost like Randy was a heel beating up on face Seth. As if you go back and watch it again, it's like,
yeah,
wait, hold on. Randy was put through a cement block.
yeah.
You guys should be like saying he finally got what he deserves, Seth Rollins, and you didn't. It was almost like, oh
You
man,
felt bad for Seth.
Yeah,
Making people feel bad for Seth.
they had that Cole and
Yeah, it was weird. They addressed it after. They addressed it like the next time you saw it. Like they were talking about the revenge and stuff like that. But come on, though, like it
just really wasn't a payoff. It almost was like
Yeah.
it went too long, and
Yeah,
almost,
yeah.
and it didn't really have that oomph that I thought. I was really hoping that when he finally got his hands on Seth, he was gonna destroy him. Not where he set up the whole scenario. It was almost too sadistic, I guess, for a face to be doing that. Which is Randy's character, though.
No, naturally,
But even the crowd wasn't as invested, I guess. We all just want to see RKO's. That's all it was.
But I think a part of the reason why the crowd wasn't invested in it was because the fact that there was a big teaser from the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Like that was a big
Yeah.
it's coming, and I really wish they didn't book. Even they booked them in a normal tag team match, and then the week later do the whole you two go against Roman Reigns. Then do it. That would have been more. That would have been more entertaining because then it's the whole. Then you have a lot longer where everyone's like, Seth, I don't think you should be trusting Orton. I don't know, man.
It should just happen
It shouldn't
in
have been in one night. I don't know.
Yeah, and if it was going to happen, it should have happened right after Fastlane in that tag match.
No, absolutely.
You should have just not entered the ring.
Yeah.
Or found a way to not enter, not make it obvious.
Yeah.
Where Seth just wants to show that he'll lead the charge. And then Randy Orton just plants him with that RKO. And Seth gets speared. And catches a flying knee. And catches a headbutt. And maybe an apron kick. Like, he just gets destroyed.
That would have been like the right.
Like, just right away.
Yeah.
So, I'll be honest. I said before, I was really excited about this match. The whole build-up now is disappointing me. The Sting thing didn't save it because I was just excited for Sting.
Same.
It wasn't about.
I didn't care about. Randy.
I didn't care about the Randy Seth aspect anymore.
Yeah.
Has the booking now made you less excited? Are you still as excited for this match? Because I still think it could be a good match, but I'm just not as invested as I was right after he returned at Fastlane.
Yeah. No, that's
my high for him was high.
No, it's true, and I think like that initial. I would say even throughout it hasn't been the greatest because that initial was pretty bad. I like that segment where he trolled all the Authority.
That was funny, yeah.
Still think there should have been a little more gap in between. So yeah, all honesty, my excitement for it's died down a lot.
And I guess
it's unfortunate. It really is.
And given what's going on in the main title scene and Seth with the briefcase, does it even matter if we care because of the fact that after that they're not going to be feuding?
Well, yeah, that's it's true. It's like I really want to see what they're going to do with Randy after this, right? Because we already know where Rollins is going to be.
It's gonna be Rollins, Brock, and Reigns.
Yeah.
Randy.
And we've already somewhat kind of Randy's kind of the odd man out, but he has just came back from injury, right? So it's
the pay-per-view after Mania always seems to be these really weird matches at Extreme Rules, and I'm starting to wonder if we're gonna get some nonsense where I think like Randy's gonna lose.
yeah. But you think it won't be? You don't think it'll be a clean finish and then it'll lead to a round 2?
It'll be some nonsense with Kane and Big Show, and Randy will have to face Kane at Extreme Rules. I could see that.
Yeah, that would make
I mean,
sense.
Kane always seems to have that big match after WrestleMania.
Poor guy.
I mean,
man.
he beat Randy clean 3 years ago. That was a surprise win for me when he gave him a
yeah.
choke slam off the top rope.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm not expecting anything to happen with Orton after that. And really sucked because I was this really could have been great.
If they booked it right, it could have been great. It could have went even longer than you know what I mean past WrestleMania. But right now, it's just I don't know.
Did you think the feud's over at WrestleMania?
Unless Orton like that random possibility, and this is out of left field to a whole other level of like Orton taking the case or something like that. That's the only possible way you can see these guys having any heat for each other.
You know what? That kind of saves Rollins from having to cash in.
Yeah.
Without them needing to be a reason of him just not wanting to cash in, that could be it.
Yeah.
I don't know if the WWE even likes to go that deep anymore. Like they have all these sectioned off.
Yeah, they're very.
This is the storyline.
It goes back to that whole if you're number one and there's no number 2 visible in sight, you don't have to worry about getting attention, right? So.
Yeah. I do hope the match comes through.
No, same. But I think the match itself will come through. What happens afterwards? It's gonna be. That's the thing, though.
The aftermath effect.
Yeah. I unfortunately I feel bad for Randy more than anyone here, right? Because it really could have been a really great feud between them if it was done right.
I really could have. I agree.
And even with the whole I agree with what you're saying that that beatdown of when he turned on. When he finally showed his true colors, it could have been a lot worse. Like, even the one aspect of it is, okay, Rollins gave Orton the curb stomp through a brick, like a cinder block or whatever, but why wouldn't have we've seen something where Orton does that punt? You know what I mean? The punt kick to the side of the head of, like, you know what I mean? Like, something similar on those lines. Like, I don't know if that's like one of those move sets where it's like, okay, Orton is a heel when he's doing the punt on people and kicking people in the head. But I don't know. There could have been a lot more at that. They could have really tried to truly embarrass Rollins on a different level, like when that all went down. But
yeah, I think they lost momentum when you sort of started pitting Seth. I started pitting him when I was watching that beatdown.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this isn't fun. I wanted to see him catching RKOs all over the place, and leave it at that. Not Randy beating down him the same way that was done to him. It just doesn't work in that dynamic.
And you know what, the way that went down, and even
as a fan, you're not supposed to be cheering stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like a guy getting really destroyed like that.
Yeah.
Despite what Seth did, what Randy ended up doing ended up being way worse.
Yeah. No, it's true. And then the worst part was it wasn't pitched the right way of this is the guy, he's getting his revenge like you said in the beginning.
The
and that
was terrible.
Yeah, I think that would have been the difference maker here, right? Like it would have really made the heat very clear between these two guys. But my beef with that whole thing was the RKO on the announce table. Because now he landed the RKO that one time after completely beating Seth to a pulp, but now ever since then he has not been able to land the RKO on Seth. He does RKO to every single person in the Authority, including 4 random jobbers they bring out as extra security guards.
It's probably just to build that.
But he can't get. But what's there to build though? He's already RKO'd him.
I know. I guess you can't.
You don't have that much to build, I would say, right?
Yeah, I guess you have to just have a 2-week breather, so when he gets his RKO at WM, it'll have a little bit of oomph, but it's not going to matter.
Personally, I would have loved it if it was like, when he's loading up for the RKO, we're loading up for the RKO, pounding on the floor, someone comes out to stop him from doing it, he kind of walks away, then all of a sudden runs back and gives them the punt, then you leave the door open for sooner or later Rollins is going to get RKO'd. And that anytime Randy has these potential moments to RKO Rollins, it's like, oh my God, he's about to finally get him. Oh no, he lost him.
And that's what I was hoping was going to happen every week.
That's the way they should have done it.
Like a Roadrunner thing.
That's the way they should have done it. And it's
they really blew this one.
Yeah, but hey, they've blown a lot of
Yeah,
things
no.
in storylines,
I think
right?
I think all our podcasts regarding today have been about blowing the storyline. Well, let us know what you guys think.
Yeah.
How you guys, if you're ever excited about this particular storyline, and if not, like I can understand why, to be honest. But if you were, what are you hoping to see happen in the next week on the Go Home show? What do you hoping to happen to see at WrestleMania? And what do you think is going to happen post WrestleMania? If you think this is a feud that will go forward, revisited later, or will just die on Sunday. So let us know. Take care.
See ya.